There's just
paperback and ebook.
She might slap me in a minute if I start.
Yeah, go ahead and sniff it.
See, I love the smell of a new book. So these are all available on.
They're available
paperbacks and ebook versions.
Yeah, and everywhere. And so what I found, and I wanted to share this. I have a neighbor, and she loves all my books. Bless her heart. And she said, I'm going to order Sheba Queen. She says, and I'm going to order, which one was it? I think it was Dragon Lady. She goes, I'm going to pick up Dragon Lady. I'm going to get them at Barnes. No, she was going to pick up my other paranormal. And I said, my paranormal that's only on Amazon. She goes, oh, no, it's not. It's on Barnes and Noble. Well, what I didn't realize.
That's so cool.
What I didn't realize was that if you just type in a book, Barnes and Noble isn't going to say it's not available.
That's very interesting.
So I was
especially
like, no way, it's not. And I went out, I typed it. Sure enough, my paranormal. I'm like, well, I'll be damned. So they're everywhere because
that's fantastic. Right? Thing is, they'd be stupid not to, really. Yeah. Your reviews are fantastic. So they'd be stupid not to sell them, really, because they're dead cert.
Also, what I want to tell all your people out there is that if you look at and some of you probably have experienced this, you've got when you have your KDP, KDP.
Your dashboard,
right? You've got the physical copy of the book,
yes,
right? Is one color.
Yes.
You have the e-copy of the book, but then there's another third color,
which is your extended distribution.
Which means it's either going to a library or a bookstore, and I get those, and that's always super exciting. I just wish I could find out.
I think I've had one,
so it's super fun.
But that one's better than zero.
It's super fun. Yeah,
it is intriguing, actually.
Yeah.
And I've got to say, if you are self-publishing, make sure you tick the box for extended distribution, because if you don't, they are not going to go anywhere else apart from Amazon. So do make sure when you're publishing your book, you tick that box for extended distribution. It means that, as Autumn said, it means that companies like Barnes and Nobles can pick it up and sell it. It also means that small independent bookstores can buy your book at a discount and sell it for you. You don't earn very much from those, do we? It's not very much compared to buying it direct from us through Amazon. It's not as much, but it's still getting your book out there, and you're still earning something.
Yeah.
So
and that's another thing. I mean, a publisher sets your price. And that's high, and my ebooks and my hard copies they're not as high as the traditional publisher, but they're not low either.
No,
because the thing is, if your book is, and I know a lot of people are doing this right now, especially with COVID, they're making their book like 99 cents or whatever. I mean, you're making a penny. These books are 400 pages.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? And it's a very fine balance, I find, because I don't think the majority of people realize how much time and money it takes to actually bring a book to life.
Well, I wish that the authors, creatives, get paid what you're worth, what you think your book is worth.
Yeah.
I've got people who've read my book in Italy, and so because the book is, I think usually for these I make these like 14 or 15. I make them so there's like a little thing on the side so that if it goes to Italy or some other country, you're not paying the shipping. So you have to be careful. You have to price them so that I don't make like almost anything, like a little bit on the heart, on the softbacks. But it's, you really, the pricing thing, I think people they want to sell a lot of books, or I see a lot of people, when I had my paranormal romance, I did, at the time, that was like 8-9 years ago, right? And everybody was like, oh, make it free. And I made the first one free, which is a huge mistake because I didn't have a second, a third, or a fourth.
Right.
What the hell was I doing?
Yeah. Well, you're trying to get your name out.
Right. You're trying to get your name out there.
Yeah.
But also what happens is people just go around and look for free books, and you don't know if they're ever going to read it.
No, or likely to give you a review.
Right. But it's such a huge, steep learning curve, and I'm still learning. And still, when I go on certain websites or some groups, and they're talking about algorithms, like my head starts spinning around, and I'm like, yeah, no, I can't. I can't deal with that. I can't deal with that.
It is very, very tough, especially with technology moving on as fast as it is. It does sort of sometimes make your head spin a little bit.
I can't. Yeah, I have another job.
Full-time job.
I can't keep up on. I do what I can.
Yeah.
And when I can. And so, Facebook, sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm not. I love Instagram. There are so many bookstagrammers.
Yes.
And readers, and like not younger, like mid, like there's you're 85-year-old grandma's not on Instagram. Okay. No. So you could,
and if they are, they're probably bodybuilding.
Right. So, you had this, and I've met Instagrammers who promoted my books for me, who read my books and left amazing reviews. And every time, being tagged on things I had no idea I was being tagged on. And that's amazing.
It is amazing because you know that you're getting noticed, your work is getting noticed.
Yeah. And so I tell people, don't do it.
Yeah.
Pinterest, I try and then I forget, and I try and I forget
to pin every day. To use, so I struggle with Pinterest. It never does what I want it to do.
It's just so many platforms, and Twitter,
I think people are getting very discouraged on Twitter because it's becoming such a negative place.
It's negative, but it goes so fast, and you don't, you miss things. And so I'm a member of a retweet group, but I backed off. Maybe I do it twice a week, because otherwise I feel like I'm a little spammy, maybe.
Yeah, it's a tough balance. And as you said, Twitter moves so fast. I struggle because I can talk for England, and there's not enough bloody letters for me to say exactly what I want to say.
And the thing is,
I end up editing all over the place.
Well, and that's the thing. You have this, and at least for me, I can't speak for anybody else, but if there's a long tweet, I'm not reading it. I don't read giant blocks of text. I want short, quick, fun.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, on all of these things, I think, one of the things I wish I could tell, and I guess I'm telling, it's just telling people is keep it all short and sweet.
Yes.
Okay.
It's got to be catchy.
And if you
have a hook, grab them in.
Right. If you read this, would you want to read the book?
Yeah.
Sometimes people get a little bit, vague, or, why do I care what their struggles are?
Yeah.
Everybody has struggles. We're all struggling right now.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. No shit. So tell me, what is your writing process, and has it drastically changed from when you first started to now?
I write while I'm working. So my writing is when I come home. At that point, it's about 4:00 and my brain is not so great. So
she's been dealing with teenagers.
So my weekend is my good writing time. My kids I only have one left in the house, and he's an adult, and he makes me food.
Nice kid to have.
Good, right?
I hope you're listening to that, Harry. I'll be expecting that when you get home from work later.
So I will write on the weekends, on the days off, whatever. My summers devoted to writing. I just get up at 6 and I'm writing from 7 until basically my eyes start bleeding. And she's
in the zone.
Okay. And that's pretty much, if I'm always writing. I'm not writing, then I'm doing laundry. There's no what am I doing? Right. With COVID, I thought, I'm like, okay, the kids, I'm doing the distance learning thing, right?
Yeah.
And that's taken way more time. Writing comments to kids takes way more time than me telling them the comment.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And we were having a quick chat beforehand. And can I just say, the worst thing anybody did was tell the kids, your grades can't go down. Because by doing that, they took away all accountability and with no consequences. And so many kids have disengaged. What a ridiculous thing. I mean, we're talking about teenagers and children.
Yeah, they're
like,
we can't even get started on that. I'll just like start crying.
I want to do that on my desk. So summer is when you really
summer and weekends and days off. And with COVID though, I really thought I was going to get more done, and I just find that everything is just too upsetting for me. It sounds. And normally I don't let things like, I just kind of get in the zone. But I'm not, and I'll get into a zone for a couple hours and I'll get some good word count done because I've got 2 kind of in the wings right now, that I kind of wanted to, I wanted to get 2 complete by the end of the summer. Wow. So that's my goal. And I don't know if I'm going to hit it. And
do you think it's one of those things where you automatically want to go, if you're forced to do something, and you automatically want to go against it? Like, you have to stay home. You have to stay home and keep yourself contained. And in the back of your mind, you're like, actually, no, I want to go out. I want to do exactly what I bloody want. The fact that it's a perfect time for us to be writing is neither here nor there, really.
Well, I think for creatives, because you need
the freedom.
Well, it's just like there's other stuff going on, and so I get sucked in by like reading Twitter and articles and listening to podcasts, and then getting little things done that I haven't gotten done all year long.
Yeah.
So I'm trying not to be hard on myself, because I'm like, it'll come down, and then I'll just start kicking it out. But when you talked about the writing process, I mean, I do an outline. Like, to me, I have to have an outline.
You do? You're a planner?
I'm a definite planner. And the outlines are long, and the outlines will get added to or subtract to or moved around.
Right. How do you start that, though? Do you tend to start planning, I'm going to do this in the beginning, this in the middle, this at the end? I'm asking this because I actually posted about it this morning on Writer's Rock. Or do you go straight into planning chapters? How do you go about it?
I don't plan by chapter so much.
No,
I plan by event. So
which makes sense, because
and then for my chapters, I mean, for my reading, of course, I read a lot of historical fiction, but I also read a lot of like action adventure and mystery and that kind of thing. And so
which there are touches of in your books,
right? So what I like to do is leave every chapter you're hanging, in which you have to go to the next chapter. So sometimes I have that scene in my head, but whether it's 2 chapters or not.
Okay.
So a lot of times it's where you end.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Where you end that. So that's kind of how I do that. And then when I am writing, one thing that helps me, and you're in the zone, and then suddenly like you have to stop and go do something, I never just stop. I always put in what happened next,
just so it's fresh in your mind.
So what I need to happen next, because that way when I come back to it the next day or 2 days later, I'll be like, what was it going to write about next? Okay, so that just helps me remember. Then I go, and I think a lot of times when writers have writer's block, it's because they stop at like a
pivotal point,
an end that doesn't. Stop in the middle, and then you know where that, and then you know where you're going. You know where you're going. Yeah.
So I have a theory on writer's block. I call it having a creative rest.
Yes.
Sometimes
refresh.
Exactly. Refresh. Sometimes your brain just needs that creative time out to go and do something else creative, because we're all very, very creative people. I don't know about you, but if I'm not writing and doing housework, which is always a lot of, I'm always making or creating something. Are you the same?
I'm always doing something.
Yeah.
I'm organizing, I'm planning, I'm looking, I'm doing. I'm never I'm never bored.
I know.
And
I cannot understand how people go, I'm bored. I don't think I've ever been bored in my life, apart from, actually, I can't even say waiting for the kids to come out of school, because I'd be sat there writing like songs or doing whatever.
But your brain is that way. And so your brain is going. And that's why when I talk about COVID, I'm like, my brain is already going a mile a minute.
Yeah.
So now with COVID, it's just like, wow, it's out there. So I'm hoping it just kind of, I really need to get, like, the school year's coming to an end. I'm hoping I'm just going to dive in and get those done, because I'm so excited for the next 2 coming up, and it's all there. And the everything's fleshed out about these books. I just need to.
It's just fantastic. I'm thrilled to know you. I've got to tell you. I love
Thank
you to bits. I know we'll be smooching later. I might end up in one of her books.
Yeah, definitely.
See. Now, for new authors, I mean,
okay.
The first time you and I met and we had coffee, and you gave me loads of really good tips and advice, and I was literally making mental notes, and when I came home, I spent the next 3 months making changes, just because of your valuable experience.
Oh, that's awesome.
It means a lot.
Okay.
And and the nice thing is about Writers Rock is we get to share tips and advice, and we can say, don't do that because I tried it, and I found this better way. What are your main do's and don'ts with regards to publishing on both sides? Because you've done both sides.
Well, for the traditional, the don'ts, I mean, you don't really have a lot of control over the don'ts.
No, but I mean, it's so nerve-wracking. I mean, I tried querying agents, and I stressed myself out more writing my query letter than actually writing my book.
The query letter's tough. No, for sure. The query letter is tough. And actually, while I am writing this one book now, on the first page of that document is query letter.
Right.
So as I think of a sentence, I kind of plug it in. Of course, it'll get revised.
Key things
that I want to say.
The agent.
Yeah, because I actually want to try to query that.
Yeah.
Both of them. But this time I'm going to query differently.
In what way?
I'm going to just query the agents that I just like, the top 10, and that's it.
Right.
And then if they don't want it, then frankly, I make more on my indie published work.
Yeah. Especially now, because I mean, you've got a fantastic following, and devoted fans to your work, because they've got what I love about your books is they are just as fantastic for men and women.
I do have men readers.
They're not just for women. They are for men and women. And let's face it, there are a lot of men out there that do like strong women types. I mean, look how popular Lara Croft was.
Right, I know.
So what about the indie publishing? And what would you say are the do's and don'ts?
I think the do's and don'ts is, I think some people don't. They rush it. They rush their book.
It's easy to get excited.
It is very excited. They rush it. They're not ready. And you don't want to put your baby out there and it's not cooked yet. It's like it's a preemie baby, and it's not cooked yet, and it still needs some life support. You need a great cover, and I know I see a lot of issues with people's covers, and I shake my head, because I go, no, your covers are fabulous.
It's so important, though, isn't it?
And if you can't do the cover, like there are people. I have a fabulous cover person, and she does the formatting, and she has like a basic formatting, and then she has like deluxe. I always get deluxe because why not? Because it's
investment.
Yeah, so
you're gonna get out what you put in, aren't you?
Yeah, and I know for some people it's like way beyond their budget, but that's kind of. I had a friend tell me, and she's in marketing, and she does. She's probably listening, and she sells big ticket items, airplanes, and she told me that don't expect to make any money in the indie publishing for a year.
Yeah.
I did, but I did also sink a lot into. And it wasn't that much for the book covers, for the formatting, for Amazon. I do Amazon ads all the time.
Which she's going to have to teach me how to do, because I can't even get to my payment. page.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Apparently.
It's a headache.
Oh my gosh.
And I've learned like what I did that netted no results.
Right.
A couple like oh look, they chose me, and I just saw no uptick in sales, nothing.
Well,
like,
where was that? Was that on Amazon? Or?
No, that was a venue where I thought I was going to get some play, and there's a lot out there that you're just not getting anything.
I've had no look on Facebook, I've got to tell you.
World Dracula Day is May 26th, so this will be $2.99 for a few days around that day through Fussy Librarian, which I love Fussy Librarian. I also have an article up there.
Oh, really?
Yes. Of how I turned like a nasty guy into a love interest.
Maybe we can share that link as well.
So
that is super cool.
So I think people rush the cover, and they don't format the inside. Your inside has to look nice.
It does have to.
It has to be the right font. It has to be the. And I see too many people not doing it the right way, and so that's problematic.
And to be fair, I mean, even if you haven't got, a big budget, because I don't. I've got 4 children, 3 of which are still living with us. Some of us don't have big budgets, but if you can't afford to pay a lot of money, just be very, very smart about it. I was lucky enough to discover the free formatting app from Amazon, KDP, and that works really well. I mean, especially if you put a little bit of effort into it and try the different scenarios. And because I knew, I quickly realised that mine was a trilogy, so I saved my settings.
Okay, good.
So each one would be the same. And also, interestingly enough, and I can tell just by your beautiful book, so you've looked into it, different colours attract different people. And if you've got a book that is aimed at men and women, it's important to have colours that are attractive to both sexes.
Colours, fonts. If you have children that are like middle school and up, they will tell you there's something called old lady fonts. I didn't know these existed, but I did something, and they're like, Mom, that's an old lady font. I'm like, I've
heard of old lady cars.
Old lady font. And they just said it was old school. So there's more modern fonts, and sometimes you have to go to dafont.com. I love dafont.com.
I've not heard of that one either. See, I love
you
this
will
lady.
be sucked into the abyss of fonts.
Mine's Medusa, apparently.
And so you have to look at fonts, and you have to and also to make sure that when it shrinks down to that little tiny size, it looks good.
That's the thing, isn't it? Looking at your stuff from a distance.
Looking at stuff from,
because you've got to imagine it on a shelf, which autumns are.
I mean, when I did my paranormal, I totally redid the covers. I redid the covers, but used the same pictures, but totally did them differently.
It's my daughter messaging. Okay. There's no rest for the wicked, and I thought I'd turn that off. There we go. I'll turn that off now. So it's on mute.
So even though I used the same pictures, my cover designer was able to do things. But like you said, you found the KDP free, formatting, and
it really helps, especially for the ebooks, because I didn't have a clue how to do it.
For me, I'm working. I didn't have a minute spare time. No. If I'm doing something else,
you're not writing.
Yeah. So my husband finally said, "Why are you trying to figure this crap out? Just pay somebody."
Yeah.
And so I can pay somebody to go, "Here's what I want it to be. Do it," and they do it. Then that's and like I said, and she even redoes, so when I went through, and I'm like, you know what, just and because I'm a good customer, she's not keep charging me the same price, but and she puts them in all the formats.
That's just
so
fantastic.
She puts it in the KDP format, she puts it in the ebook format, because there's like the EPUB, then there's the Mobi, and then there's the PDF, and there's all these files. And
joys of technology.
I don't even want to. For me, it wasn't something. And then for the public, for the advertising, I know people who spend $10,000 a month on advertising.
I don't know how they do it.
Well, evidently they're selling a bazillion books. I don't have a genre that sells like that. Historical fiction isn't like romance.
Sci-fi is quite hard as well.
Romance, a lot of those genres, people just like gobble them up. I lost my train of thought. It was really important.
It's like the blind leading the blind. She's talking to the woman that can go in the next room and go, what am I here for?
Oh, that's what I was going to say. So when I first started advertising, I mean, I used to go to work and I would pick up a Starbucks every day, and that's $5. So if I can afford a $5 Starbucks, I can afford $5 a day on Amazon. And so that's kind of what I did. So then, and hubby's super nice. He's just, here, but I still keep it at a pretty small amount. And I keep telling you, I really just want to throw some money at it 1 month and see if I get an uptick in sales. Yeah. But I'm just not brave enough to do that yet. And I still have to play. But all that playing with that on your dashboard, once again, to me, it's just, you're just sucking things up and the time is gone. And then I look up, I know,
isn't it crazy? Have you tried, obviously you've tried the Amazon advertising. What about Facebook and other platforms? Have you done any other advertising anywhere else?
I couldn't figure out Facebook.
It's not the easiest thing I've got to tell you.
I tried once. I couldn't figure out. It was once again, it was too time consuming. Yeah. I did snap a pic of somebody who said that they actually will do that for me. And I'm thinking maybe this summer I will contact them and say, like, you do this. But then here's the thing. You have to look at who your reader is. And I don't know.
And who you're competing against.
Right. And I don't know if my reader really is going to jump on something from a Facebook ad. I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, if there's a shoe ad, I'm all over it. but if it's so skincare, I'm there. Yeah. But some kitchen gadget. Oh.
But you've got the reviews to back it up though, haven't you? So I reckon you do quite well if you figure it out.
I think I'm doing pretty well.
I think I should teach her how to do Facebook ads, and you should teach me how to do Amazon ads.
Amazon ads are
maybe we can do a little session on it.
They do themselves.
Oh, that's handy to know.
They redo themselves, yeah.
Do you know what? I'm afraid we're going to have to go. We've been on here for nearly an hour already. We could talk for hours. So just what is the next bit for you? What is your new plan? Obviously, you've got 2 books in the pipeline for this summer. Mm-hmm. Are you just at the moment going with the flow? Obviously, I mean, it's so tough at the moment because everybody's been affected by the virus. Editors, book cover designers, everybody that we deal with as authors are all being affected. So are you just going with a open timeline right now?
I'm just going to try to get up and write. Yeah, I'm just trying to get up every day and write. Yeah. And try not to get sidelined too much. Yeah. That's kind of what I'm doing. And I just don't want to beat myself up about it because that's so easy to do. And I tend to beat myself up about everything anyway. I didn't get enough done today.
We try and put on so many different hats, don't we, all the time.
And I'm just going okay, I'm just going to get this done today. But if I don't, I know I did other things that were valuable too. And I'm trying just not to stress about it. Don't make me stress about it.
I'll be breaking out the whiskey in a minute. I'll wind her down. Right now, which of your books is your favorite? Which one's really close to your heart?
They're all like part of me. I couldn't
like babies, aren't they?
Some of them were much more challenging to write than others. Actually, they were all challenging.
But which character did you?
I don't think I have. I think the book that to me was the most fun, but also the research was the most labor intensive, was Dragon Lady, because I mean I get to do sword fights and I get to do murder, and I love sword fights and murder. Who doesn't? But all of them have this, like, they're all kind of part of you.
Yeah, they are, because you pour your heart and soul into them, don't you?
Yeah, that you do. And so to me, every book becomes a part of me until I write the next book, and then that book becomes a part of me.
Yeah.
So that's like saying, what's your favorite book that you've ever read? I bet everything. What's your favorite food?
Where's my list?
Where's my list? Yeah. So but can I say really quick, if you go on my website, autumnbordeaux.com, and
which is lovely, it's a beautiful
site. Thank you. And go and join my mail letter, and like I almost never send anything out unless something is coming up. Like,
like new release,
a new
cover
release.
reveal.
Yeah, that's it. Like otherwise,
yeah.
I just don't have time.
Yeah.
But if you'll get like a response email, and it says, thank you for joining, and if you want some swag, I'll send you some swag out. So I forgot one of the swags was a bookmark, and it has all my book covers on it. But the other, I don't know if you can see, it's a tech cloth.
Isn't that cool?
Tech cloth, and you know what? Like for your glasses,
or your phone,
your
Kindle,
right? So little tech cloth. So I send a tech cloth out and a bookmark. So if that's what you want to do, that'd be awesome.
That is so cool.
Do you have any questions?
Yeah. Do anybody have any questions? It's a tricky time of the day, I know, because people are trying to still work from home. They're supposed to be working from home.
I know. Where do you
I'm not sure how many there are working from home, but
I'm working from home. I really am.
The nice thing about doing this for the Writers Rock group is the video is saved. So you can literally come home from work or finish your shift from home and watch our tete-a-tete.
Yes.
I have to say posh words like that because it's Autumn Bardot and it sounds really posh. I love it. But you can ask questions and obviously Autumn can check. So tag her if you want to ask something specific about the books or about a publishing journey, because she has done both traditional and indie publishing. You can send her a message and tag her so she gets to see it. Otherwise, they all get lost a bit.
They get lost.
So tag Autumn if you want to ask a question.
Follow me on all those things because then I'm more like, I'll see that. Like I'm on Instagram a lot, and Twitter not so much, but Instagram and.
But
Facebook.
if you tagged, you get.
I'll see it. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm pretty fast, replying, especially if I'm trying to avoid writing.
We are born procrastinators.
But it's been fun. Like I have a lot of people, messaging me and tagging me, and when a reader does that,
it's
I had one just gushing, and she's gushing over Sheba Queen, and I just cried. It was so amazing. I couldn't even articulate to her how fabulous she made me feel. It was wonderful.
I don't think readers actually comprehend.
She was surprised I responded.
Was she?
She's like, "Oh my gosh, you responded to me." I'm like, "Yeah."
Of course
you make my week.
Yeah, and it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because all these comments and especially reviews, please leave reviews. They make such a massive difference to us, and they keep us motivated and keep us going to write the next one and the next one and the next one. So it's very important. I've actually gone back and left reviews on books that I read years ago.
Oh, good.
Just because I realise now how important they are.
Okay, that's good.
I feel quite an angel.
We could do a whole thing on reviews too, because as an author, you have to be careful.
You do have to be extremely careful.
I don't leave bad reviews.
No, it's not very nice. If you can't, it's one of those things. It's like when you're a child and your mum says, if you can't say nothing nice, don't say anything at all. And that's the same goes for reviews, doesn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Now I've written books. I'm sure you feel the same way. I don't think I could cut somebody like that because it's like a stab to your heart getting a really awful review, especially if it's just like 3 stars or 2 stars with no explanation.
Yeah,
that hurts.
Yeah, I have a 1 star on, and I don't look at my reviews ever. I had just was scrolling through something and I saw it and I just clicked the screen off and I told my daughter to read it. And this is after I'm getting glowing other reviews. I'm like, why with the 1 star? She said you were obsessed with sadistic sex. I said, there's 2 sentences in the book with a little S&M. It's Vlad Dracula.
She must have had a very sheltered childhood. That's all I'm going to say about that.
So yeah, I don't look at reviews.
She obviously doesn't have fairy handcuffs in her closet.
You do? I'm going to go look.
I do. That's about
That's
about as close as I'm going to get to it. Autumn, thank you so much, Don.
Thank you.
Will you please come back and talk to me again?
Anytime.
I think
we can do one at my house.
That would be fabulous.
If I can figure out this setup.
That would be fabulous. I would absolutely love that. And perhaps we can do a few more, because obviously it's so nice to talk to somebody who's done traditional publishing and indie publishing, and
because I'm messed up both ways.
Well, she's been successful on both sides. Fantastic. But maybe we can talk about some other topics as well.
That sounds great.
I could pick your brains, and then she can, blow
Mm-hmm.
your mind with all her knowledge.
I wish I had. Some people have so much knowledge, and I'm just like, oh.
Yeah, but you have to do so much bloody research for your books. It's a miracle you can still blink, really.
I do.
Oh, hi, Mark. He's having a giggle at us because we're both lunatics.
Okay.
I can't even deny that. We haven't even been drinking.
Yeah.
This is actually coffee, I promise you.
We need to have a martini time next time. Or a bet. That's what we're going to do. We could do it at my house. We could make my signature cocktail, and we could just do it maybe from the pool. How would that be? That would be like California.
Deadly.
Right? I think
you might not get some sentences out of me towards the end, but
right.
But by then we won't care. We won't care. Autumn, I love you, darling. Thank you so much, darling. Oh, thank you, darling. Look, buy her books, leave reviews, and I love this one. I would literally date this girl. She's so cute. Look,
she went both ways, so she went all the ways.
Well, there you go then. I would have been in. I wouldn't have even had to do much chatting up. That sounds fantastic to me. So Mark says, Irish coffee, there is a plan.
Okay.
I'm not even going to deny that really right now. No, okay. Right, thank you so much for joining us. Leave questions underneath. Autumn is going to leave her book links and all the pages underneath so you can check out her books and read her fantastic reviews. And if you could leave those links for the podcast so we can listen to her, that would be fantastic.
I will do it.
Thank you very much, darling. Thank you everyone for joining us, and hopefully we'll be doing this again soon.
All right.
I think we can have a new show.
I think so. Bye-bye.
See you soon. Bye. It's not ending. Did you see my pause face then?
Is it end?
I have no clue. It's not working.
Just close it.
Oh, there we go. Look. See, I'm mistaking my iPad for my laptop. How bloody technology.
It's not a touch screen.
See you later. Bye. Oh my God.